Good morning. Today we're going to do a review on adding and subtracting decimals. Let's switch over to our whiteboard. Okay, so here is the first problem we're going to work on. So this is an addition problem. Notice that when I wrote it down, I made sure to line up my place values. And when you line up your place values, your decimals will also be in alignment. Okay, so now that we have our problem, we need to ask ourselves, what would we add to 8 that would give us a number that ends in 3? Remember, this has to be a single digit number we're using here because there's only a single digit in a place value. So what single digit number plus 8 is going to give us a number that ends in 3? It doesn't have to be the full number, it just has to be what it ends in, because remember, we write down our number that's in that place value, and then we carry or regroup the rest of our number. So what plus 8 gives us a number that ends in 3? Well, 8 plus 5 gives us 13, so let's try a 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. So if we write down our 3, then we regroup or carry a 1. And if we add 1 plus 0, we get 1. So we have 1 3/10. So that means that in front of that 5, excuse me, we have to make sure that we have our decimal point in alignment. And then we need a placeholder in front of our decimal. So we're going to write a 0 there. And then let's put that one. Okay, so this is what it should look like. So your answer that you would type in on IXL for this one would be 0.5 or 5/10. All right. I'm going to erase this problem and we're going to try another one. So my next example, or our next example, is going to be 4 4/10 plus some number is going to give us 10. So this is how IXL would write a problem like this. Notice that they did not put a decimal point in our 10. However, if you need to see it, you can go ahead and add it in. So let's go ahead and add in our decimal point. Our decimal point, decimal point and a 0 here. Notice I lined up my place values and my decimal point. All right, so now we're looking at what would we add to 4 4/10 to get 10. So let's start in our tenths place, which is the digit we have farthest to the right. So 4 plus what number would give us a number that ends in 0? So we should know that 4 plus 6 gives us 10. So let's try 6 right here. All right, so 4 plus 6 is 10. So we would write down our 0 and regroup or carry our 1. We know there's a decimal point in front of the 6 because we're keeping our place values in alignment. All right, so then 4 plus what number would give us 10? Well, just like before, it's 6, but we have regrouped a 1 up there. So really we're asking ourselves, 4 plus 1 is 5, so 5 plus what number gives us 10? And we should know that 5 plus 5 gives us 10. So that's our answer. So this is what we think we would type into Excel, but before we type it in, let's check and make sure if our answer makes sense. So 4 plus 6 is 10. We write down our 0, we carry our 1. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus the 1 we regrouped is 10, so our answer is 10. All right, let's try a subtraction problem now. All right, our first subtraction problem I want to try. Let's do 8 8/10 minus what number gives us 4 7/10. So 8 8/10. We're going to subtract some unknown number, and that's going to give us 4 7/10. With subtraction, like addition, we have to make sure we lined up our place values, which means we also lined up our decimals. We have that written this way. Now we need to ask ourselves, instead of saying what plus 8 would give us a number that ends in 7, we want to know what number can we take away from 8 to get 7. So 8 minus what number is going to give us 7? And you should be able to come up with 1, because 7 plus 1 is 8. So we're going to write a 1. So 8 minus 1 is 7. That makes sense, right? So let's put our decimal point in. And now we say 8 minus what number is going to give us 4? Well, 4, because 4 plus 4 is 8. So let's write a 4. So let's go back and see if it looks like this makes sense. So our 8 that's in our 10ths place. So 8 minus 1 is 7. And then in our ones, 8 minus 4 is 4. So that makes sense. So our answer on this one would be, that we would type into Excel, would be 4 7/10. All right, let's try another one. Our next one is going to be 59 79/100. Take away. Oh, sorry. I wrote that down incorrectly. Let's erase that. What I want to write is what number, when we take away 59 79/100 from that number, we will get 31 48/100. All right, so this is a subtraction problem like the last one, but it's a little bit different because we don't know our starting number. We know what number we took away. So we have to ask ourselves a slightly different question. So instead of saying what number can we take away from a number to get the number that's in our solution here, we have to ask ourselves what number could we start with and take away this 9 that's in our hundredths place to get the 8 that is in our difference, which in this case, there's no number that you can take 9 away from and get 8, just a single digit, right? So that means in this case, we're going to have to think about regrouping and borrowing from our tenths place to solve our hundredths. So we're really going to be thinking about a 2-digit number here, because we're going to have to borrow 10 hundredths from our tenths place. So what number, 2-digit number, can we subtract 9 from to get 8? So you can add them up. What is 8 plus 9? 8 plus 9 is 17. So we're going to write down our 7, and we're going to carry a little 1 over here. We're going to regroup that 1, because if we had 17 hundredths, we would actually have 7 hundredths and then 10 tenths. I'm sorry, not 10 tenths, 1/10. 10 of our hundredths would become 8/10. Okay, so now, what is 4 plus 7? 4 plus 7 is 11, but then we have this one that we had to regroup from our hundredths, so that gives us 12. So we're going to write down our 2. And it was 12, so what do we do with that 1? We have to regroup those 10 tenths into a 1. All right, so 1 plus 9 is 10, plus the 1 up here that we regrouped. So that's 11. So we're going to write down our 1 and regroup our 1. Three plus 5 is 8, plus the 1 we regrouped is a 9. All right, now we need to put our decimal point in. Line it up there. All right, now we need to think about whether this answer makes sense. So let's go back and look at it. So 7 minus 9, we would have to regroup a 1, leaving us a 1 where our 2 currently is, and then we'd have 17 hundredths. 17 hundredths minus 9 hundredths would give us 8 hundredths. So that works out. All right, so now our 2 is a 1, so we have 1 minus 7. So that means we have to borrow a regroup from our 1s. So when we do that, we would have 11 minus 7. And our 1 in our 1's place would become a 0 because we regrouped a whole 1 into 10 tenths. So 11 minus 7 is 4. So we write down our 4 there, so that's good. All right, so we had borrowed or regrouped from our 1 in our 1's place, so it's now a 0. So we have 0 minus 9. We can't take 9 from 0, so we had to regroup from our 9. We took 1/10 from our 9 and made it 10 1s. So then we had 10 minus 9 in our 1's column. So 10 minus 9 is 1. Once we borrowed or regrouped from our 9, we had 8 10s. So 8 10s minus 5 10s gives us 3 10s. So this is a good answer. And this is what you would have typed into IXL. All right. I hope this helps you with your assignment today. Have a good day.